Right, hopefully this is a better angle. Put some extensions on the GoPro. Getting into riding this season, I thought it was going to be a lot harder than anticipated. I thought that it'd be a huge learning curve, and it might be like a year before I, take any trips outside of like my immediate town. But I picked up a lot faster than that, and so I want to kind of share the things that I've done to make myself comfortable on a bike. Yeah, that has helped me. So a lot of it is turning and cornering and all the little things, balancing on a bike. It was really different for me. I barely ride a bicycle. I think the last time I rode a bicycle was probably, I don't know, maybe at least a decade ago. So hopping on a motorcycle and being comfortable on it the way I am has been great. So I want to share that kind of information too. Man, I'm hoping this angle is a lot better than my last video. I didn't realize how low it was looking onto the dash until I went to go edit the video and everything. But glad I'm going on this ride because cruise control again. So you just press the cruise control button, and when you're ready to set it to speed, so I'm going about 70. Let me get it up to 70 now. I'll just press down on it. Let go of it. Works perfectly. Don't do no hands. Good way to rest my hand when it gets tired. Yeah, when the hand gets tired, it's really easy. So yeah, this guy's going crazy. There you go. Yeah, some people just can't commit. I mean, that guy wanted to get over, like, since these few cars in front of me, and just would not get over. Kind of throws a wrench in my works, when I'm looking up and identifying what he's about to do. So I definitely always keep those things in mind when riding. I think that's one of the things that has helped me ride, is that I'm always aware. And I think watching a lot of crash videos and everything like that, I've noticed that, yeah, a lot of it is there's drivers who aren't paying attention, but there's also motorcycle riders who aren't giving themselves the opportunities to react. So I'm always in a state of mind to react to what's happening. I don't want to just hope that everyone sees me and that all of that. So yeah, one of the things that has helped me ride is always full gear, full face helmet, armored jacket, armored pants, gloves. It's just like if you're riding without your seatbelt, you probably feel a little bit less safe than when you are wearing your seatbelt. Riding with that safety in mind does help you be a little bit more comfortable. So I always ride my full gear, and I always pay attention. Even when I see a car pulling up like this on me, I'm paying attention. And for those of you who know, there's lanes are kind of split into 3 lane positions. Lane position 1 being the lane position I'm in, far to the left, and then lane position 2 being right here, like in the middle of the lane. Lane position 3 would be right here, like hugging the line over here. But I almost always stay in lane position 1 if I'm in the left lane. I can react faster if someone to my right does something crazy. I would much rather have to crash into the grass than crash into another car. Thankfully I've never crashed, but if I did, I keep that in mind. I want to be able to crash there. I always think about different routes, like for example, if I saw someone barreling towards me right now in my mirror, which I always keep looking at my mirror, if I saw someone barreling towards me, I think of the ways that I can get away from it. Now that I've passed that car, I can get away from it here. I can get away from it by crashing into the grass. If there's enough space in front of me, I can try to pick up enough speed and see him. Maybe flash my brake lights so that they see me and then I'm not going quite as fast as them. But those things all kind of come natural if you've been riding a car for a long time. It's pretty easy. I've also done, of course, a lot of combat driving. I know one of the corniest things I have from the Army is actually I have an expert combat driver badge, because I did over 10,000 miles of riding in an active combat zone, driving in a combat zone. So I was able to, I guess, stay defensive in that aspect. Yeah. And of course, there's been situations where, when I was riding in Afghanistan, where you know, IED out of nowhere, despite all the technology we had, disabled one of my vehicles that I was driving, and that was tough. Another thing I do is, like, I don't feel the need to excessively speed. I mean, I've done it before. You've seen some of my videos, especially when I first got the Street Bob. If I can see a really, like, desolate road, isolated road where I can go, I'll go. You know, I'm not weaving in and out of traffic. I don't filter or cut lanes or split lanes or whatever. I'm usually, if just whatever the traffic conditions permit. If right now I'm going about 5 over the speed limit, and that is comfortable for what the traffic conditions permit right now. Sometimes it's safer to be going 10 or 15 miles than over the speed limit. It's just about identifying those things. I'm sure you've been there where, like, if you're that guy going 55 when everyone else is going 75, you could be the cause of a lot of problems. So I'm not advocating to break the law, but there's times when the best way, the best action for riding is to make sure you're keeping up with traffic, and that you're not the reason that an accident causes, and hopefully that you're not the you know, part of an accident because of that, but instead you're riding safely and keeping up with traffic conditions and being aware. So I think another thing with riding too is kind of same thing with driving. I'm sure all of us have run into drivers where they clearly have really bad perception of what's happening, meaning, like, you'll see them trying to pack out of a parking spot nowhere near any cars, and they're taking these small little tight turns. It's like, that makes no sense. It's one of those things you really have to have. Like, I think my skills on a bike are probably pretty subpar, being less than 6 months in, or however long I've been riding. I'm probably around 6 months or less than 6 months. My skills are not great. I still have an issue making U-turns. I still have an issue making some tight turns. I slow down a lot more than I see other riders do in corners, but I'm riding with my skill level. So my skills might not be subpar, but I'm always conscious and thinking about the best way to approach things. I have very good awareness of where my body is, where my bike is, and when I'm in a car, where my car is. It's having that kind of awareness. Like right now, I was about to get over because this car was coming at me really fast, but he's trying to pass me on the right, which I don't suggest. But as you see right here, I'm not sure if you can see him here, but he's passing me on the right. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to stay here and let him pass me, and then I'm going to get over. It would have been a lot safer if he did the smart thing and let me get over and then him pass me here, but he's deciding to pass me on the right, which is, in my opinion, never a good idea. Yeah. I'm kind of gauging where that van is up there, because I do want to pass him, because I see that I'm approaching him, but his speed is pretty inconsistent, not like mine because I have cruise control on. His speed is pretty inconsistent. Sometimes I'm approaching him really fast, sometimes I'm not. So I am going to get over. It does increase some risk. I am going to get over. I'm seeing this car stop here. I am going to get over here and just wait till I kind of get close to him, and then pass him on the left. It does increase the risk switching lanes back and forth. If I could have just stayed in my lane and passed him eventually, but with his inconsistent speed, I don't know when I'd catch up to him. I might not ever now. I mean, he's created a gap between us now, and I've stayed exactly the same speed at what I'm riding right now. So it's always thinking about those things. The bug just bounced off my leg. Another thing I do also, just to be safe, is always check your fuel levels, your oil levels, your tire pressure, so that if you're going on a long ride, one of those things won't be the reason that you get stranded on the side of the road, or even worse, that your tire blows out or something, or you lose traction or something along those lines. So you want to stay safe and aware of those things. And to improve my skill level, one thing I always do, parking lot riding. I remember when I first started riding, before my MSF course, I couldn't make a U-turn from here to the end of the other lane. Now I'm getting better at U-turns, and it's something I still practice. At the beginning of this week, I probably spent 2 hours, 3 hours doing U-turns both ways, so figure eights, but they're still not great. I still don't understand how, when I see some people make it look so easy to do like a single parking spot U-turn, I can't do it. I really can't do it. I'm usually taking up like 2.5, 3 parking spaces still. Good enough for U-turning on the road, but not as good as I want to be. I can make it a little bit tighter if I put my legs down, if I put my foot down and kind of duck walk the U-turn, but I don't want to be that guy. So I'm really trying to improve my U-turn abilities. But yeah, it's kind of what I do. So like I said, it's a beautiful ride out here. Pretty isolated roads, country roads. It's not even an interstate. This is Route 340 going in from Maryland to West Virginia. It slows down a bit here with with some cross intersections coming up over here, some crossroads, like the sign says. Probably cut off my cruise control, maybe reset it again later when it's safe to. But yeah, I'll be crossing a bridge here in a little bit. Beautiful bridge over this beautiful site going into West Virginia from Maryland, which is just separated by this river, which you'll see here in a little bit. Yeah, so it's a single lane up here. Drastically reduced speed limit, so definitely have to just be a little bit more cautious when the road conditions or traffic conditions like that change. So normally I would try to pass this van, pass this lane ends, but there's enough cars in front of him anyway that it wouldn't give me much space in front of him, that I'm just gonna kind of see what he does. Hopefully he doesn't let it get to the point where he's just going 5 miles an hour, but it's not too bad. He's going less than 50. But he's on his brakes now. Yeah. So definitely I'm going to increase my distance. I don't know what he's doing, kind of riding his brakes right now, which is never safe. So that right there is bad driving. Riding your brakes downhill is no point. You can just let off the accelerator. Yeah, that's horrible. Horrible. Still riding his brakes down this hill. I really should have got in front of him, so. Yeah, so I didn't get to talk through the bridge, ended up getting a work call, but yeah, I wish I got in front of this van. Actually now he caught up to the other car, so it's not that bad. I would have been in the same spot. So I think about those things too, because a lot of times that'll cause road rage. I was like, oh no, why is this guy going so slow? Why would it matter? I'd be one car in front of this guy. So doesn't matter that much. So here I am in West Virginia. Pretty nice area. There's some signs here to say watch for falling rocks on this mountain on my left. So I know I talked about lane positions earlier. Now I'm in the third one, away from cars on the left. I kind of do the opposite if there is dotted lines in the middle, so make sure that vehicles that might try to pass will see me. I'll be closer to here and try to show myself so that people know I'm here. Got a motorcycle wave over here in my buddy. Love that. I don't know, there's something, I don't know if y'all can tell me if you think it's corny, but something I love about riding is just those motorcycle waves. Like, it's such a cool aspect of riding. I didn't think that would be that cool, but it is. So just splash my brakes a little bit so the car behind me can see I'm braking, but primarily just engine braking to open this gap up a little bit. I'm sorry, it's really warm. My visor's open again, so I don't know how much wind noise is coming in again, but it's really warm out. Yeah, so passing that van earlier would have been a risk not necessary to take. I would have been in the same spot. And he's tailgating that van in front of him, so he might have been tailgating me. Made it even worse. So when downshifting, I always do rev match. It's something I picked up on my car. When I'm driving my cars, I always rev match before I downshift. It sounds really nice in my GT, the Mustang GT that I had, but also sounds really nice in my on my bikes, especially the street bob. Downshifting, people know I'm there. So if I can, I'll see if I can overtake the semi that's up there. So I don't want to go too, I'm going to maybe go about 60, speed limit is 45, so I don't want to overdo it, especially with a stoplight coming up. And it's red anyway, so. I'll be here. I'm one of those, I always use both brakes to brake. I know there's some people who are all front brakes, some people who are all rear brakes. I've talked to people who have been riding a decade who are like, I've never used my rear brake before. Usually sport bike guys. That's crazy to me. I always stop with both brakes. That rear brake, when you're doing slow speed maneuvers, really stabilizes the bike. So I use a lot of rear brake. Front brake, it's most of the stopping power is from the front brake. So there's no reason to not just gradually apply both brakes when coming to a stop. I always do. And I know I hear a lot of those videos of, I watched a video recently of someone saying, oh, you don't want to look like a new rider by putting both feet down at a stop sign or at a stoplight. You know what? That's, in my opinion, horrible advice. If you feel safe as putting both feet down, put both feet down. When I'm riding this electric glide, I put both feet down. There's times in the street bob where I keep my foot on the rear brake. One stop, especially on hills, it helps. You also have a front brake. So you can stabilize yourself on a hill with a front brake. So if that's the excuse that they're giving, it's wrong. If you're doing it for looks, if you're giving up some safety for looks, that's a terrible, terrible idea. I would never sacrifice safety so that I don't look like a new rider. So do what you have to do to be safe. Don't listen to, you don't want to look like a noob or whatever it is. Horrible advice. You know, the best way to look is alive with not crashed bike with no injuries because you're riding safe. You know, and that comes from both ends, whether you're sport bike guys or Harley guys. Harley guys are like, oh, why are you wearing all that gear every time? You know what? I'm going to wear all this gear every single time because I want to be safe. And that's whether I ride with my Harley buddies or if I ride with some of my other buddies. Ride with all my gear. And at the end of the day, everyone respects you. They might give you, you know, there might be a little bit of jokes here and there, but I do what's safe. And I think more riders with a safe mentality is what we need, so we're not seeing so many crash videos or, you know, unnecessary deaths. It's like not needed. There's enough stuff in the world out there that wants to get you. Why do something like riding, which is an enjoyable way to commute? And yeah, there's that added risk, but if you're gonna add the risk from just riding itself, do it safely. Do it in a way that you won't be putting yourself in danger and others in danger. Just ride safe. Be smart. Take the time to improve your skill. Take the time to improve your reflexes, and take the time to you know, have good spatial awareness. I know if you have bad spatial awareness, it's not the greatest. You know, it's going to be hard to improve that specific skill, but you can. If you're hell-bent on riding and you know that your spatial awareness is bad and your perception is bad and all those things, figure out what you can do to improve those things. Maybe see if there's like an app or something. There's apps for everything now, so I'm sure you can download something that helps with your awareness and your reflex time and all those things. I would say as a kid I had pretty bad reflexes. I was probably that elementary school kid who would be the last to be picked for dodgeball or basketball, all that. But once I got into middle school and high school, started playing a lot of sports, wrestling, football, doing everything, and those things improved with improving my physical activity. So, especially in the Army, my box in the Army, I was very active in the Army. Expert shooter every single time. Very good physical condition, which you have to be for infantryman, which, I mean, some of you are going to disagree with me and say that you've seen like the most out of shape Army infantrymen, especially for you Marines that are going to say, you know, Marine infantry is real infantry. But I like to stay in good shape. It helped me with my reflexes and all those things. So, you know, like might help too. Might help your riding. A little bit of emergency stopping there. Sorry about that. Kind of distracted by that call that just came in. So that's bad, but I was just talking about reflexes, and I had to come to a pretty fast break there from about 30 to 0 pretty quickly. Actually, I'm thankful for this red light. It's going to put space between me and the cars that are kind of filtering over there. Everyone's trying to get that exit over there. And for some reason, I think the fastest way is being on this left lane and then trying to get over last minute. But I think it's better to I'm just going to be here and catch my exit on the 9. Most people don't take the exit I'm getting on going into Martinsburg, West Virginia. It's the exit. It's the exit right before that. So I get to avoid that, and or right after it. I can't remember. I've only made this ride about 3 times now, but yeah. With some of the memory issues I have, which is caused by my TBI and a little bit of a speech impediment, I'm thankful for things like Google Maps, because I remember a lot of things, and it's gotten better from the time when I was a kid. I mean, from not when I was a kid, but when I was in my 20s and at first was injured, but I have improved my memory, and I was in occupational therapy for a while to help improve my memory for my TBI, and it's gotten better. Yeah, so the exit is the one after this one that everyone's trying to get, the 9 East, but I get to take this one, which less people get on, so always signal. There's a yield sign here, so I'll come at it slow, check first, and then I get on it. be on this very isolated road for about 11 miles. And it's beautiful out here. Always check my blind spot. Don't just rely on the mirrors. And I know, like even me, I have a lot of neck pain. So sometimes checking my blind spots is not the most comfortable, but I do. Just to be safe. The speed limit here is 60. So going just about 70-ish. A little bit less. Here, I can open my face shield a little bit, very warm. No cars behind me, so I'm just gonna well, there's one. Flash my brake lights a little bit. Engine brake to a stop here. You can come to a complete stop relatively quick, even with just engine braking. One thing a lot of riders, I wish they knew, not riders, but car drivers, I wish they knew, so they would know you're coming to a stop. But I always do it safely. If I'm engine braking completely to a stop, I will flash my brake lights so they know I'm coming to a stop. I don't just start braking, because if they're not paying attention and they don't see those lights, they're going to maintain their speed and just possibly slam into you. So best way to engine brake, of course, downshift, blip the throttle, and then slowly release the clutch, and kind of just rinse and repeat until you come to a stop. I can make a more in-depth video of downshifting and engine braking later. Techniques like that are pretty easy for me because of driving a car. I've practiced emergency braking in a car if the brakes go out by downshifting. And it's a lot easier on a motorcycle than it is a car. So being able to come to a complete stop in a car takes some effort with down braking, but I've been able to, and I think that helps somewhat with my motorcycle riding skills. Yeah, so I don't have a lot more tips, but whatever I think of on this ride, I'll add in. I'm gonna get over and let that car pass me, because he's getting mighty close to me. One thing always to remember too is that your cars are a lot closer to you than they look. You can see that guy was very close to me. Even though on my mirror it looked like there was some space between us. Mirrors, of course, have to capture at large. Try to cover as much space as possible. So because of the curve of the mirror, perception is a bit distorted, and it's good to know that. So that car was probably not even half a car length away from me. This green car behind me was next to him, but because I had the space to create a gap to get over, that's what I did, because that's safer to do. And this green car, you can see he's actually building some space between him and I, not like the red car was. The red car just wanted me to get over. Probably not doing it the most effective way. Maybe he's late to work, or his girlfriend or his boyfriend, I don't judge, mad at him. So or his husband or his wife. So I had to get over. And there, the green car's passing me, which is great. You know, I'm on the right. I fully expect that, and that's how it should be. If people are driving safely. So it's interesting. Riding through this road on my street bob, I could feel these little rivets on the road much more. I'm not sure who is maintaining these roads or paving these roads, but it's super weird. But on this, I barely feel them. Barely feel a little bounce. So great suspension on this. To adjust the suspension on this is one knob, one hand knob. It actually links to both rear suspension units. So you only have to adjust one and then adjust both. I mentioned that the street bob has a monoshock that you use a spanner wrench. This is this hand twist. You hand twist and go off the user manual to see which is the most ideal setting for that. Alright y'all, here in West Virginia now, in Martinsburg, approaching the VA hospital. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope that the angle is a lot better. I should have paid attention a little bit more to it on my last video. And hopefully it looks good. I'll be able to see when I'm editing this video later. So, thanks guys. Keep on watching. If you haven't, please like the video, and if you're enjoying what I'm putting out, please subscribe. And leave comments below on your thoughts on my videos and even what else you guys want to see, because I definitely want to get feedback from people who are watching the videos. Alright, have a blessed day y'all. Thank you.